Hello everyone, and welcome to another TipHaus Insider webinar. Today, we are going to be doing a TipHaus product tour, one I'm very excited for. We're going to be covering a lot of the new features that we rolled out in 2025, particularly the latter half of the year, and give you a lot of teasers of what's coming up in 2026, what has already been released, and some fun features that are coming out to get you excited for it. So, to start with, if you have never attended one of these before, I'll give you a nice welcome here. My name is Kirk Grogan. I am the COO and co-founder over here at TipHaus, and I thank you very much for joining me today as we speed through this. As always, I'm going to cover just a couple housekeeping notes here for us today. So there is a live chat and Q&A inside of this webinar software. Use the comment section to ask any questions that you have. I will not answer them live. However, we do have one of our customer success reps who will be going through and tackling those as they come through. And at the end, there's a Q&A section, and I will dive into anything that he was unable to answer or that is worth touching on twice. As always, we do a $50 Starbucks gift card giveaway. And every time these are entries just by showing up, you have an automatic entry. Each question you ask also gets you an additional entry. So feel free to ask anything. There are no dumb questions. This entire webinar will be recorded. So as we're in the hospitality industry, if a fire comes up, whether literally or figuratively, please go tackle it. We will record it. This will be automatically shared to you after. If you're having tech trouble, same thing. No problem with it. This will be in your email, typically within an hour or two after the conclusion of this webinar. And as always, there are resources here available for you. So there are going to be QR codes. There are helpful links that we'll share out after. There are some tutorial videos. And of course, I'll be doing a live webinar showing our new software features for you. So I'm very excited to dive in. And without further ado, let's do it. So first and foremost, what changed with TipHaus in 2025? A number of things, and we'll be getting live views of those. But the biggest pieces that we're always focused on is making sure that our operators have better security, that they are continuing to save time and money by doing less manual work, that we're offering additional scalable reporting features, and of course, massive advancements to our Earned Tip Access program, giving more flexible payout options and more real-time transparency to your staff members. For those employees, transparency, of course, is always up there first and foremost, that we want to make sure we're upholding our values in the industry and making sure that the hospitality industry has the most transparent availability possible. Next, we've got speed improvements, of course, for what they can see and how quickly they can access their data, and improved trust on a number of items where we've given even more granular detail so that they know everything is on the up and up with their hard-earned tips. And very excited to cover a topic today for guests that we have introduced a simple digital tipping model, something for QR tipping, a hot button topic in 2025 and going into 2026 as cash becomes less and less prevalent in the economy. So let's dive in a touch. First and foremost, some additional upgrades to our SSO and 2FA, largely impacting enterprise customers or groups that really care about their security. While previously, this was something toggleable for us to be able to offer for customers, this is now available within each profile. So for employees, they do have the ability to toggle on 2FA, two-factor authentication. If you're not familiar with what that means, just an additional security measurement. And that's done right from the employee app in their profile settings. Similarly, managers, owners, operators, anyone who has access to the client dashboard of TipHaus itself has the ability to do the same in their profile section in the top right. You can toggle on 2FA to further enhance the security of your organization, make sure nothing gets adjusted on the tip policies, make sure you're not being logged in elsewhere, all kinds of fun things for you. But we're always seeking to maintain modern enterprise security standards, banking standards, as we do move a lot of money, of course. With that, something that I'm excited and we'll get a live demo of coming up, but one of our most beloved features and something I am continually impressed by the creativity and curiosity of the hospitality industry is our QR tipping and feedback module. So we have introduced this where employee-specific QR codes are available, where each employee can have their own QR code, all tracked within TipHaus. There are plenty of branding opportunities to this, so I'll walk you through a live demo of that later in this webinar. You can do traditional items like our TipHaus tip sharing, tip pooling, team adjustments. All of our amazing functionality that we introduce from point of sale tips is available via this method. And certainly not least important here is going to be the guest feedback, something that we are blown away by the request, the creativity of how groups are using this. If you want to utilize this primarily for tips, we have that available. If you want to use it primarily for feedback, we also have that available, and I'll show a few items. Email receipts, of course, are out, and personalized profiles where employees can actually update the picture that's shown after the QR code is scanned. If they want to have their own picture or just an avatar, that is fine. They can update their bio. They can update what they're saving for. If it's something, college tuition, I am looking to book a trip to Japan, whatever it might be. But we have seen an uptick in tips when individuals are showcasing what it is that they're trying to earn money for. This is incredibly important for the industry. Something, the most common use case that we saw when we first launched this last year was we were getting requests from valets, bellhops, groups like that, where tips were a common courtesy in that space. However, with cash fading, there was no actual credit card slip or POS terminal handed to them where they could leave that tip. And so you had a lot of those awkward interactions where they're looking at their wallet, there's no cash. Say, well, maybe you have a Venmo, you want to pull that open. Then you're swapping too much personal information. You're giving too much of your employees' information. And most importantly, you don't get to track that or visualize it. Always a key reminder is that tips are one of the ultimate methods of feedback, right? A great tip typically means that great service was had by that guest. So this adds revenue. It helps to keep your employees happy. It gives them additional ways to earn money with it. And again, we completely protect the privacy of it, unlike Venmo or Zelle or Cash App or some of these other options that may be a little too intrusive. And we do it all while maintaining your brand standards. So as we go through it. Additionally, we have upgraded and continued to improve the House Money app experience and the cards. We now have a credit building program, of course, with House Money. Many of you may be familiar with that. But one of our most requested features, as these were underbanked or unbanked or individuals that were just getting started in the world, maybe they had a debit card but had no credit history. Now we are seeing averages of 30 to 50 points boost on the credit score over the first year because this is a secured credit card, meaning it operates just like a debit card. You cannot overspend. You can't go into debt, things like that. Additional built-in banking safeguards. We've got lots of operator benefits within here. And of course, we're building more trust throughout this process by ensuring transparency and visibility on both sides. Then for all of our enterprise customers, and I saw a few of you are logged into the guest as attendees today, number of quality of life improvements for you that you've already seen or that you will shortly see if you want to reach out to customer support, have them turn this on for you. But we do offer multi-org user switching. So if you're an organization that says, hey, we have multiple concepts branded under different groups, you can toggle between them easily and do combined breakdown exports for each one of these organizations or concepts. If you're a group, one of our large enterprises that you have a Southwest region, a Southeast region, a Midwest, whatever it might be, you can jump between these. But the end result here is we're making sure we're saving your staff hours, making sure that this is as seamless as possible, that we're reducing any of the repetitive work, no more multiple exports to payroll. You can batch those together and get it off for all of your concepts in one push. And you can make better decision-making as you're actually able to group the data and play through it, parse it how you want, and see exactly what you need to know to make quality decisions. Lots of features for smarter tips and cash handling as well, team. So there are advanced even split rules, and I'll give a live showing of that here in just a moment. There are additional cash and tip reconciliation safeguards. So as many of you know on our ETA, we auto-reconcile. If Johnny, your bartender, forgot to clock out and accidentally stayed on until 4 a.m. end of business, he took too much of the tip pool from other people, right? It's based on hours worked. So when you make that adjustment, obviously, we recalculate, the entire payment. And in doing so, everyone that got paid out via Earned Tip Access actually got paid incorrectly. And we'll modify that and we'll make it correct on the next several payments. We reconcile the entire piece. But now we give far more granular line-by-line detail of exactly what occurred so you can find that. By popular demand, we also introduced avoidable P2P transactions. So where we do allow employees to send money back and forth, all tracked directly within TipHaus. Previously, we wanted to make sure that that was only up to the employees, that managers had no discretion on that, couldn't manipulate that. We did find scenarios where, customers absolutely requested continually that they be able to adjust that. So we do have the ability to void that. And now it notifies both employees of the transaction, the date, and which manager made that adjustment. So if there are questions or concerns, conversations can occur. And we've introduced more real-time notifications for you. So fewer errors, less administrative work, and more confidence across the board with us there. Additional ETA payout protections and transparency. Where before we had a small little section at the top that showed you the warnings for missed clockouts, unassigned sales, or payout issues, things of that nature, we now have introduced that much bigger and bolder with the exact count and hyperlinks for you to go into and resolve those issues if you have anything that may impact your ETA payout or the accuracy of it. We have also introduced employee-facing explanations for clearer reasoning, how to fix issues, less questions for managers and operators, of course, and building on that trust. Now, without further ado, let's dive into the fun stuff. So let me make sure we are all seeing my screen here, and we are. So home screen of TipHaus should be no surprise to any of you here. We've always, as always, have the customizable dashboards that matter to you. Get a quick glimpse of what's going on in each location as you see it fit. Next up is, as I mentioned, we've introduced even split module. So everyone who's already using TipHaus should be familiar with our tip distribution page. This will be where you create rules and you ensure, your tip pools, your tip logic is all accurate, as granular as you want. You can always create as many of these as possible. However, let's play into one item which, by popular demand, we have introduced, and that is an even split functionality. And we'll call this an even split for bartenders, let's say, where we have two bartenders working. We want the tip out to those bartenders to be exactly the same. I don't care if someone got it in 10 minutes early or 15 minutes, got cut later. We want it to make sure that they're always earning the exact same. So there's no bickering over who gets cut. There's no saying, oh, well, I left just before that individual, yet they got all the money from that big sale that left after I closed out. All of those fun scenarios and edge cases that arise. So what this would look like is we'll say, okay, we're giving 5% of our tips to the bartenders. And over here where our frequency exists, you will now see even split is enabled. If you do not see this, and this goes for all things that you're about to see during the demo, it just means that it is something that was not requested by your org admins. If you click our live chat button in the bottom right of our screen at all times available to you, where you will live chat with a customer success representative, they can turn it on for you. They can walk you through some specifics. They can give you examples of how to help it. So please do not hesitate to reach out to them. We are delighted for you all to use all of the new features we're going to showcase here today. But in this case, you'll get a quick little notice there that this distributes the tips evenly to each employee using the bartender job code. And in this case, we'd say, okay, what we want to do is take it from the servers and distribute to the bartenders. And of course, as we click submit, we get a nice rules summary. This going forward would allow us now that each time a tip is shared, it's going to be even to both of them, no matter the instances on the back end of it. Next up, some of you may have already seen this, as you may have already toggled them on and you found it within your table views. This is something we're really excited about and it's been coming for a long time. And that is, if you scroll over to the right, you may notice that you're going to see wage columns, gross wage, wages take home, guaranteed rates, and wage rates. Massively popular demand for this, that we want all of the data of our employees take home in one usable situation. So if you already use Toast point of sale or you use UKG for time and attendance and payroll, these will automatically be populated for you. If you do not use those, have no fear. We are actively working on our entire integration channel, 70-something integrations that we will eventually have this released for. If by any means you say, hey, this is a must-have for me and I'm not on Toast or UKG right now, feel free to reach out to support and let them know what point of sale you're on. We're happy to prioritize groups. Right now, we're going from who we've heard most, but easy to bump you up the queue and get those integrations prioritized if this is of importance to you. Lots of fun things, as you might imagine, coming out with wages, where we're releasing, EWA with our partner Rapid, and eventually there will be an inherent native EWA avenue for you. Wage guaranteed rate, I will show you how to adjust this in the settings in just a few moments. But the big important piece here is staffing is getting difficult, and it's notoriously difficult in the hospitality industry. Usually today, where we're competing against the gig economies, for instant gratification, we're competing with a number of other industries, highly, highly competitive, and employees are jumping more often than ever. It is a wonderful piece to be able to offer to employees and say, hey, we guarantee between tips and wages, you will earn X amount, right? Put that in your job postings, increase your application numbers. So we do offer this functionality with it, and it will just detail for you how much do you owe in additional to earn that guaranteed rate that you've set out for them. Fabulous functionality that we've seen a high adoption rate on already with it, and very excited to see where we get going. Next, a couple of the quality of life improvements that we've seen, and I'll jump back to our last pay period here in Earn Tip Access. So Many of you already use this program. It's our most popular product offering to date. But the ability to real time pay your employees, make sure that after that day is over and they've earned their tips, that your managers can process. We will automatically debit from your account. We'll distribute in the correct denominations to each of the employees who've earned tips. Something that we have gotten a lot of requests for, the cash paid out button over here. So what this is denoting is we've heard from a number of groups that say, hey, we want to be a completely cashless environment. What we want to make sure is that when cash is coming in the door, that we're not stacking it up, that we don't have to make bank runs, that we don't have to think about it, that I don't need to question whether my manager's deposited the correct amount. We go and audit it. We want to be cashless. We want it easy where employees can take the cash that they gave, and that is automatically deducted from the electronic tips that are about to be paid to their account. So we have rolled this feature out, and a couple important notes on it, of course, is for Toast out of the gate with it, it is immediately available. So if they ring up a cash check and say, $89.71 they received in a cash check, you don't have to worry about collecting that from them at all. You can keep that from them. That will automatically reflect here, and the ETA payment will have that automatically deducted, keeping you 100% together with it. Similarly, we can add that in for groups that are not Toast, and same piece as we're going through each one of our point of sales. We will be introducing this functionality to automate it and continue to save you time and money there. So very, very excited to see what we get going here. Next up, maybe the most requested piece was we need more granularity. We need better functionality within the reporting section. We want to be able to customize this and group it and see it how we want. So if you are seeing this, there may be a few of you already in the audience that already have access to the screen. This is in beta right now. If you're part of our beta customer group, you may already have this enabled. For the rest of you, you can expect to see it over the next 30 to 60 days as we are rolling it out. But lots of quality of life improvements that we have introduced within here. Most notably, all of these are customizable if you want to get down to the specific numbers that you want to see, if you want to slide these pieces over. We have introduced fuzzy search, which if you are not familiar with that term, what that means is it's not specific matching. If you wanted to start searching bar, you would see bartenders, bar backs, etc. as you go through it. And as you get more specific, it will limit it to that, but makes it very, very quick and easy to search. All of these are now toggleable. So you can sort alphabetically. You can dive through individual items from high to low numerically. And perhaps most importantly and most entertaining here for us is we've introduced different views. So if we want to configure the columns and we want to create a new view, what you might see is say, hey, we're a massively complex organization. I have regional managers, I have territory managers, I have GMs, I have assistant GMs. Everyone needs to have a different view according to the data that matters to them. So what we are now able to do is say that I want this to be a GM view where all general managers across all of my stores have access to it. Perfect. We can come in here and what information matters to your general managers? Well, what we really need is, they're often the ones having to ensure that they can see which sales were signed and use our custom team adjustment. We do a lot of banquets and events. And so we need to be able to search by the check number and ensure that they're assigning their own tip logic over the top, because 2 servers and a bartender in a separate room were working as a part of that. We don't want them to have to deal with any of the other tip pooling. They should be viewed as separate instances. Great. We can handle that. Let's add in a few more just to round it out. And we can click Save and Apply. Now you're seeing a GM view. You can give this to all GMs. You can keep this as just your view. You can create any number of these that you wish. And you can pin these as well so that they're always available for you to see. Now, when we added check number in there, of course, if we wanted to find one specific check, we might start typing in, you have that available, and you can instantly edit it as you see fit with anything that is needed. So some major quality of life improvements that we are really, really excited about and bringing that to you. Be sure to check these out over the next 30 to 60 days. If you're not part of that beta group, they are coming to your dashboard here soon. They will also be reflected on the breakdown page as we move forward. Next up, let's chat a little bit about our QR tipping. And again, this is something that is only limited by the creativity, and I'm blown away. The use cases we introduced it for are a small percentage of what's actually being utilized for now. If you don't, QR tipping is one of the most popular requests that we had. And so you can create a QR code directly for any individual employee you want. We can pick one specific location. We can say, I want this actually to get feedback. And I'll show you what that does here in just a moment. But we're going to create it for, let's say, Clark. Clark's now got a QR code created for him. We review. That looks great. Now in Clark's mobile employee app, he has his own unique QR code available. You can also mass export these. You can share these. You can see what it looks like so that you can print them out on placards, on business cards, on anything that your imagination chooses. But it does real-time spin up a QR code for him within his own mobile employee app as well. So we can get rid of those Venmo app awkwardness, that Cash App awkwardness. We don't want to be revealing personal information on too great a level about our employees. Beyond that, we've got something fun here as well, which is you can customize this for any function and branding that you wish. All of this text is available for us to adjust. So if we wanted to say, we love your feedback, and now we will see immediately coming through on our feedback screen, we love your feedback. Earlier I showed is the primary goal. Is it to generate QR tips or is it to generate feedback? Both of these screens will be showed, but the difference here is which order do you want it to come through? Do you want feedback first, and then they can leave an optional tip afterward? You're really trying to get a better understanding of the guest sentiment and how their experience is at your location. Or is the goal to drive tips and increase that total take home for your employees? Whichever one you choose is what shows up first. And then by default, the second screen will show up immediately following. So a really, really fun, cool feature. All of this is customizable, of course. Very, very quick process. You can use Google Pay or Apple Pay. Instantly, it's 2-3 clicks to get it done. None of this awkwardness that goes along with it. And just in case we say, okay, well, this looks great, Kirk, but it's TipHaus branded. We're a beachy location. I don't want your colors. I don't want to deal with any of that. No problem. We can customize all of that. In the few clicks of a button, you can add your logo in if you wish right here. And let's say, okay, well, we want this to reflect our beach vibe. We have a number of customers out in Hawaii that may want to play through it and make it look a little more island focused. So we can immediately come through and apply our hex codes, get our branding onto point right out of the gate. So a really, really fun feature for you. Something to make sure that we're always establishing what we're looking for here and get everything that we want. Of course, we can always reset to default and start over if we mess something up with it. But very, very excited to introduce. And last but not least, I do want to introduce here, we mentioned things on wages, guaranteed wages, etc. You will now, in your settings column, find a wage column. If, again, you use Toaster UKG as of today's date, this will be auto-populated from those locations. More of those are to come. But most importantly, you say, hey, I don't want to wait for the integration. I'll tell you what it is so y'all can prioritize it. But I need this functionality today. You can come within here and you can adjust these. You can out of the gate come in and say, okay, well, this is what it looks like. And maybe they work 2 job codes, so we need to add an additional one. Sometimes they're a bartender, sometimes they're a server, whatever it might be. You can always see that that's available to you. And here's an example of what a second one might look like, where we'll display both wage rates for you. So very, very exciting stuff. Was that a speed run through it? Yes. Am I trying to be respectful of everyone's time? Absolutely. But what I do want to show you is a couple other fun features that are coming and some snapshots that I don't want to live demo just yet for us all. We have employee app improvements that are on the way. We've got massive reporting upgrades for the number of enterprise customers, the number of managers, operators, owners who just want to get into that granular data, really want to drive in and understand what's going on. UI and UX enhancements will always be going out. We're always taking feedback and listening to it. And of course, some enterprise features coming. This, very, very excited to announce, we have a new employee app experience coming. This was something we rolled out in 2020 initially. And, it was great. It was the first of its kind. We were the first to ever introduce an employee mobile app to track tips automatically for the staff. It is time for a major facelift and upgrades. We've improved it over the time, but we are now introducing native iOS and Google App Store functionality, which gives us a bunch of fun things to do with push notifications, a little more real-time access to that data, etc. We will, for those who are wondering, still introduce and keep our progressive web app design available. So if you have users that are unable to access on a smartphone, don't have access to a smartphone or don't have one, they will still be able to access from any computer that has internet, just simply by going to my.tiphaus.com and logging in. So don't worry, we are not excluding anyone from this. But for the vast majority of this industry who does have a smartphone, whether that be Apple or a Google product, they are able to now access this via a native app. This is expected out over the next 30 to 60 days. There are beta groups available to it. And if you've got employees who are itching to have at it, we'll happily grant them access to our beta groups. So looking forward to this, more security, more functionality, lots and lots of fun things coming. Within it, just a few snapshots of our beauty that kind of exist within it. And you'll start to see some additional offers, a sneak peek of what's coming on Earn Tip Access, where Rapid is now available for many of the restaurants and the thousands of restaurants that use Rapid cards for EWA and things of that nature. We have inked in partnership there, and there are more payout options coming to you. Similarly, you can see here what a QR code within this app looks like, where it's automatically generated. They can quickly display it for guests and show just the information they want, not a bit more. And of course, as always, things like their best shifts, how long they're working, how many hours, their total tips, etc. All around, our P2P function within is getting a major boost. They can switch between the stores if they work at multiple locations, and greater granularity and detail to their Earn Tip Access payouts, all coming straight through this new app. So we are very excited to hear some feedback on that and see how much it improves the lives of your restaurant employees. This is real world, and I want to showcase, when I mentioned there's so many use cases for QR tipping and QR feedback, and I want to really emphasize that feedback is real. This is real. This all came from the last week from one of our guests. We've obviously blurred out the employees' names, the locations, and things of that nature. But pretty awesome to see, and you'll get a quick glimpse that a few of the first names of people that are just doing incredible work right at this location. That Jennifer is absolutely killing it. That Ashley is doing great. Courtney got some praise in there as well. It's a really, really cool piece for you to know internally, like not just who is serving your guest well, who is delighting your guest, who is ensuring that you're going to have repeat business and regulars coming back to it. Something incredible to introduce. This is displayed to the employees, and you can filter, like it's not automatically shown. You can approve or disapprove. So negative feedback, or if it's someone in today's world who's just trolling and trying to stir up a conversation or some conflict, you don't have to display those. But it really does do a lot for the employees' happiness, for their well-being, to see that the work they're doing is driving value, right? It's something that people are so appreciative of, where service industry needs more than ever in a conflicted time. So awesome stuff to see. And just a couple more pieces. So next level insights, part of our new filter system is we're going to allow you to drive into anything and everything you want to see, and only that, so you can make quick, snappy decisions. If you want to view sales and tips related to specific sales categories, appetizers, entrees, those are available to you. If you want to look at one specific revenue center inside of your theme park, inside of your mall, inside of your airport, whatever it might be that you operate, available to you. If you want to search only by employees when they were working specific job codes, just by job codes, all available, and we can drive into which exact tip distributions are doing what for you. So some incredible pieces that are here and ready to come for you. I am very, very excited to reveal. And with that, team, I want to thank you all so much. I know this was an information dump and bomb. We are always driving hard over here, our development teams, our product teams, everyone working together to ensure that we're bringing you the best piece that covers all of your tipping needs and is the most comprehensive solution available to you. If you are not a customer yet and you would like to find out what we're all about, you can book a demo within 48 hours here and receive your first month free. Simply scan that QR. But with that, I will thank you all so much for jumping in with me. I know I'm spitting a lot of information at you, so please reach out. You can book a demo and we're happy to chat through it. You can reach out to our support at tiphaus.com. If you're already a customer and you have access, go ahead and use that live chat feature in the bottom right. It is the fastest way to get quick responses from our unbelievable customer success representatives, similar to Jason here, who was dominating the live chat for you all. And with that, I will bid you all a wonderful Tuesday, and I hope to chat with you soon.